Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode. And in today's episode, we are going to be touching the topic of favicons. Favicons. I don't know how is it pronounced. Is it favicon or favicon? All right. Uh, so at first, like, what is a favicon? I'll just say it favicon. So basically, you see the YouTube icon here on the website alongside the title. So let's say there's this title, Birby's website, but we don't have a favicon specified, so it won't show here. So, but Reshot, this website, which has free icons and illustrations available for usage. They're not sponsoring me, just want to give them a shout out. So I'm using, they have this favicon listed here, so you can see there. Now, how do we add our own favicon in our website? So, firstly, we need an icon. Okay, so I went to this website, Reshot, because they're giving away for free icons in commercial license. So I just wrote here bird, and I like this one, right? I downloaded the SVG and saved it and dragged it into this icons folder. Now, how are we going to get it to display here? All right, let's just see. Okay, so to add a favicon here, favicon, yeah, man, I need to look it up really later. So, firstly, we will be doing this a link favicon. That's a simple using Visual Studio's built-in functionalities is just gonna autocomplete for us. I think this thing is called IntelliSense, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so I have to list out the directory where the file is. So it's inside the images, icons, and it's this file. I save it. Bam. We have our favicon listed here. You see the little bird icon? And just to show you how it looks like, I mean, yeah, this is the icon, right? Quite small, but yeah. And it has been loaded perfectly on our website. There we have done favicon section. Now you guys can use PNG, JPEG, ICO, SVG files, GIF files for icon. I mean for favicon. So yeah. Now the next thing we are going to be touching is this topic I like, which we use a lot. Um, what is this? Horizontal. Okay. All right. Uh, Now with this done, I want to start the topic of classes, right? So H1 classes save. A. Now there is an interesting thing. This header has styles applied to it, right? And I want to apply the same styles which are applied to this header as well to this, right? I also want to apply to, let's say, yeah. to these two as well. So if I just do this, I can just copy it and paste them here, save it. Okay, I have a plan, but this can really get messy over time. So we can get into the habit of applying classes. Now, how do we do that, right? How do we make a... So we will specify a style for a certain class, and we can just add a class we can inside our tag and with that specific label, and it's going to apply whatever style we have specified for that specific class. Okay, so basically I want the black, uh, I want the bolded, I want this bolded font, which is like impact fab. Yeah, impact with this size and aligned to the left. I want these three properties. Basically, this is not even a property. We can just middle it. Um, Sorry, center. My bad. Yeah. So how do we do that? So basically, you will have to you usually make a separate CSS file, like a style.css, and link that here. But for HTML purposes, because this is not a CSS one, right? That will be very lengthy. I'm just gonna show you how to do that quick. So in your head section, you'll be adding a style tag. So style like that. And here you're going to specify the class name. So you have to follow it by dot. So you write dot, right, like that, dot, and then you write the name of the class. So I say bolded, bolded text, bolded large text. Okay, but that's just the name. How do we specify? So we do this. We open bracket, close bracket, enter, and inside here we're going to specify these specific details. Now, what I'm gonna do is, because these details are already specified here, I'm just gonna copy paste this from here to here and save it. And for this, I'm just gonna H1 save it. Okay. Mm, okay, save it. Now here we have the bolded large text. How do we apply this class? You know, so all classes. I mean, any uh, any tag that is applying this class name is going to have these properties. So right now you see there are three headers, same. They don't have any differences. They're just a simple header. Now we can see the action of class by applying to these three different header tags. So class, bolded, large text, save it, bam. You see? I just need to specify the class name, and I can reuse this anywhere. I just have to mention the class. Now I can just simply even, you know, shorten it. I can just say BLT, bolded large text. And look how short that is and how less space it takes. And yeah, you can just apply. So you can make various classes. You can make a class saying, let's say, dot white norm white text, right? Inside this you just put color white, and we can see, will it work? Will it just override the text property? Yeah. So it overrode the text property. But if we just apply like that, we can't really see. But how about we just say to blue text, blue, and just change this as well, blue. Okay, so this blue text is applied here. But what happens if we apply BLT? So there we have the color is still here. Okay, because it's cascading, so whatever is on the lowest will be applied uh, will take higher priority. So what if we put this up here? So this is cascading style sheet. Okay, so it cascades. So what if I put it like that? Save it. I think that's uh inside the CSS file. If I do end with the same name, then that preference takes place. But anyways, here we go. We have blue text applied here. We have BLT with these properties. They're being applied. So you can make various styles, complex styles with borders, underlines, and various other properties. You can look it up on W3 Schools and apply and make just a class, and then apply that class on any tag or container you want. You can make a cool proper class for a table tag, and you can just apply on it simply. So you can look up more on classes on W3 School. I'm just covering the basics here, really. So going furthermore, your website is built up of like sections, right? On top you have, so there's something called like layout. I'm just gonna use, so all right, there we go. So we have these things. So the thing on top, this is most likely called a header. This is what we call a header. This is what we call a nav bar. Here you have all your navigation buttons, like home, about, and other pages, links listed. Here we have like something like a section. This can be like an aside, and this is like an article. And here, this is your footer. Okay, so these the tags for these, right? You just open tag and close tag, except the nav bar. The nav bar is written like nav, like this. Okay. So besides that, you just open tag and close tag with all these names like that. So you can make each text like however you want it, but let's say all of this is inside our body, right? We can give them, we can say the favicon, this part can be this header section, so we can just say uh, header, save it. It just helps you lay out your website. I heard it's good for SEO purposes as well. Okay, so this thing we can list it as section, like just article. Yeah, so these are HTML tags. Okay, so you just list it as article, and at the bottom you can have like a footer, and in the footer we can say copyright Birb Coder. Birb Coder. Okay, and we can put some style to like border 1px solid black and text align center, and yeah, there you go. So you see, you have your header, you have your article section, you have your footer. So you can look up more on layouts on the W3 school website and apply that. And what else? What else can we do? And you can basically style your header as also like, I want a style background color to the aquamarine. So, yeah. So you can like make these different sections stand out, distinguish from each other. All right. So with that said, more or less we have covered the basic stuff in HTML, and there are other stuff, but I don't think we need to touch those. They're like semantics, style, symbols, and all so on. But now what we're gonna be touching on, which I think is relevant to daily use and building, is a form, right? A form. So right below the article section, you can have a section tag, save it, and inside this, we're gonna be exploring form. So you see, you go on a website and you have like a contact page or just like a form to fill in stuff, right? So here we're going to build a simple form that takes in your first name, last name, and that's about it. So how do we go on about that? So we're just gonna write here forms, save it, give it the class BLT. Okay, and now we're gonna build out the form. So you write form. Okay, this is these actions are specified in basically JavaScript or PHP or stuff and so on. So this is not something we're gonna cover right now. So I'm just gonna leave this empty. Now inside your form, right, there will be a label and an input bar for it. So a label, we can say a label for first name, first name, and the label. I mean, what do you want to display here? We can say first name, right? Save it. There you go. There's nothing yet. Don't worry, we're gonna get there. Secondly, then you can add a line break and write here input, right? You can write input, type text, and you can use ID. So ID will be for first name. So just match this thing here, save it. Okay, there we go. And you're gonna do this simply. You can if you want any specified value here, you can just write value and write here, write your first name, save it, and then someone can come and just edit it out. Usually we call them also placeholders. Placeholders look better. So these are texts that are like preloaded, right? You can put them on like a discount section, which is just stating whatever discount code you have is just applied automatically there. So you just write that there. You can write like a value, so people don't have to like write it out themselves. If you have like only one discount code and it's applied for the whole week or something, whatever scenario, you can write your like placeholder. Write your name. If you write like, okay, you can write like this, and that's it. You can write your anything. So it is what it is. It's like an input bar. Now there we go. We have our first label and input bar set. Copy paste it, and we're just gonna change this to last last name. Save it. Right. But yeah, forgot to add a line break here. Okay, and I want this to be last name. Save here, and that's it. And there we go. We have like a simple input form, and we also need the button. How do you make a button? You know, you can simply make a button by placing an input value of button, or there's another way. You can just write here for the form purposes. You have to use like this input, and then you specify here the type of the input, a button, and value specify submit, right? And if you want this to be below, you just know that which tag to use. You're right, it's called BR tag, and just another one. Okay, so there's like some space, and there you go. You have your first form set up. There are various other form inputs, like how would I say, there are various controls, button input sections, input bars, like text area and so on. You know, you can also have like an input of math, like you can say label for your message, save, and then input. In this, we're just gonna write text area instead of input. Just save it, and there you go. Just put the button down. So yeah, like this. Save it. Okay. So you have your first name, last name, and so on. So your task is to go and find out various other forms like radio buttons, checkboxes, and so on. You have to go on the W3 Schools website, and you can learn there about these various other types, you know? And then you can look it up for videos and other, but I think these things that I taught in the past few videos, they're more than enough for you, you know. Now that's about it for the basic for the basic HTML coding series, and I'll see you in another video. Take care, guys. This is Birb Coder signing off. Hope you enjoyed and learned.